If you can relate to this next statement, then I want you to stick around because as much as this video is for me, I hope I'm not alone and hopefully others can relate. So lately, I've been having a very uncomfortable realization that somewhere along the way, I kind of stopped pouring into myself. And not in some crazy dramatic way, no like rock bottom type of way, but just in a slow, quiet way where I looked up and I didn't feel like myself anymore. And the crazy or scary part of it all is I think a lot of women go through this a lot more than we realize. And it happens for so many different reasons, right? I mean, as women, it's very easy for us to get swallowed up and lose ourselves, I mean, in like adulthood and motherhood and marriage and aging, the beauty aspect of it all, right? There is a lot of pressure for us women. Now, the funny thing is, if you would have asked me about 6 months ago, a few months ago, if I was happy, I would have said yes. It wouldn't have been a lie. I think I'm very fortunate enough to say I've never truly been unhappy. It's just been very different, like a different type of happy. Now, this wasn't one big like aha moment of me realizing that I was losing myself in a sense. It was actually a bunch of really small moments that made me realize this. A bunch of really small moments that made me finally stop and pay attention. So with all that being said, I hope I am not the only one that feels like they have lost themselves and didn't even notice it, but now they want themselves back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Marissa Linnell, and on this channel, we talk a lot about just life, personal development, femininity, sometimes some motherhood, we sprinkle that in. If any of those things interest you, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about what actually losing myself actually look like, okay? The things that I started seeing in myself that were the huge problem. Okay, so a really huge one, and probably one of the biggest ones of all, is always being on go mode, task mode, which essentially is survival mode, right? Literally always having something to do, running myself into the ground, running on fumes, task after task, no break. Another one that was a very big red flag and huge indicator of me personally was the fact that I was dressing for convenience, or out of convenience, I should say. Anyone who knows me knows that me dressing for convenience was the last thing on my mind, okay? I literally expressed myself a lot through my wardrobe, and convenience wasn't it. Now, yes, now that I'm a mother, there are certain times and situations where I do dress out of convenience or even comfortableness, right? The older I get, I start to appreciate those things as well. But no matter what the situation is, whether it's a convenient outfit or a comfortable outfit, you will always see my personality shine through that. And there was a point in my life where you didn't see no personality, okay? I was truly dressing just out of convenience. So you could only imagine what those outfits look like. Another one was me putting my creativity or my interest on the back burner. Now, I'm not a girl with many hobbies, okay? I never really have been, just not that type of girl, because I wear a lot of different hats, okay? I always have. So me having a plethora of hobbies just was never my thing. But there are a few things that I do to keep me grounded, things that make me happy, things that I am interested in. And one of those things is like this YouTube channel, okay? I absolutely put this channel on the back burner when my personal life transitioned. And then I came back and then I started creating content that made sense for my life in that time. But it wasn't what excited me. It wasn't what fulfilled me. Still good content, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do, if that makes sense. Like I completely transitioned my content and I just cannot do that. I can and will incorporate some of my transitional, eras that I'm going through. I can incorporate that into my content, but to completely transition and change my content completely was just so inauthentic. I still need spaces for me. Okay, I am a big Aquarius. And so anybody who knows an Aquarius knows how creative we are and our creative juices just be flowing. Okay, so we need those types of outlets to let our creative juices out somehow, some way. And yeah, if you're Aquarius, if you know, you know. Okay, we need our spaces. It's very extremely important to us. So there are other things that I noticed that I won't go deep into, but I will make mention of them because I feel like they are important and I feel like other people may relate to them or they may be going through them. And so I'll make mention of them. So one of them is not having routines that made me feel grounded. I'm very, very type A, so routines are a must. Consuming content that literally inspired me less and less. It is so important that we are doing our digital detoxes and that we are decluttering our digital spaces. Get rid of the types of content that just really don't inspire us or the types of content that we no longer relate to. I mean, there are content creators that even as recent as 6 months ago that maybe I was consuming a lot of their content, but maybe now 6 months later, you know, it's out of touch with what I'm going through, and that's okay. That's called growth. That's fine. We're all evolving one way or another. And another thing that's really huge, I felt like I was showing up for everybody else besides myself. And you know what? This is something that you really have to pay attention to, especially being a woman, because as women, we are natural caregivers, right? We naturally want to care and nurture the ones that we love dear to us, especially if you have children or a partner or just even our families, right? Our parents, our siblings, aunties, uncles, grandparents, anything like that. We naturally want to nurture these people and take care of them. So it's really important that we pay attention to when we are pouring our all into others and not to ourselves, and work double time and overtime to make sure that we are actually paying attention to ourselves and pouring into ourselves. Okay, so naturally, I did ask myself, how did I get here? How did I get to a point where I stopped feeling like a woman or a human being in general and started feeling more like a machine? And the honest answer is just life. Okay, life has been lifing. And it just became a point to where life was just about schedules and work and content creating and making sure everyone else was okay. And somewhere along the way, I just stopped checking in with myself. Now, the good news is I don't think I completely lost myself. I think it's more of a disconnect. Like I disconnected from myself. And so now I'm doing a few things to make sure that I reconnect with myself. And I'm going to share them with you guys. These things are not huge or monumental or life-changing, okay? They're just very super small, simple things, but they are very essential. Really quickly, I want to pause the video right where it's at. If this is the type of content that you like and you are engaging in this video and this video is making sense to you, please drop this emoji. Or I'll put it right here. Or I'll put it right here. I don't know. Drop one of these emojis in the comments below. I just want to make sure that this type of content is being received well, and I want to know who is engaging, if at all. Yeah, do your girl a favor, drop it in the comments below. Okay, back to the video. So first thing I'm doing is dressing intentionally, okay? Now, this does not have to be a big production because baby, it's not gonna be a big production dealing with me on a daily basis. However, it is something that I'm very intentional. I am going to wake up every single freaking day, no matter what I have planned, no matter if I have planned to even go out the house or if I plan to sit on the couch all day, which that never happens, but no matter what, I'm always going to make sure that I get dressed, if not for no one else, for myself, okay? Get dressed very intentional. And I'm not just throwing on any clothes, even if I'm just around the house. I'm not just going to throw on clothes. I don't have the mindset of, oh, okay, well, just because I'm home, which there was a point in my life I did. But that mindset was, I'm just staying home all day so I can just throw on these leggings that have holes in them. No one's gonna see them, right? I'm gonna be home all day. No, I don't even own any clothes that have holes in them anymore. No matter how good or how much I love them, get rid of them. Okay, get rid of them. I really do feel like being intentional about what you put on really does something to you internally. Okay, so make sure that you don't have any holes in your clothes. Make sure that your necklines aren't sagging. Make sure that, yeah, you are matching. It doesn't matter if you're at home and no one sees you besides your partner or your children, or if you're home alone. You see you. Okay, be intentional about what you're doing, about what you're putting on. Next thing I'm doing are morning walks. Now, this is something that I have to force myself to do some days because I truly am just not motivated to do it. Some days I just don't want to. Some days I do not want to get up and go for a walk. I'd rather lounge for an extra 30 minutes. And it's not even like lounging in bed. I get up, I get dressed. I'd rather sit on the couch and just with my cup of coffee and just lounge and have very slow mornings. But I know that walking is what's best for me. Like I need to walk, okay? If not only for my health or my future physique, but also for my mental clarity and to breathe some fresh air. Breathing fresh air is good. Also, Pilates. Okay, I started taking Pilates classes again, and this is something that I did prior to getting pregnant and having my daughter, and I stopped postpartum. I actually think I stopped before I gave birth. I think I like stopped really early on, actually. I'm not gonna lie. So I stopped doing that and I just got back into it, and it feels really good. I literally went so long without doing Pilates because I think the thought process was I couldn't fathom or imagine leaving my family and my household for an hour because they needed me. Baby, I'm going to Pilates. They'll be all right. Next thing I'm doing is making time for creativity. Now, I would love to sit here and say that I have a content creating schedule and I stick to it and it's great and dandy. Baby, I do not. I would love to one day, but I am in the toddler trenches, so every day looks the same, but it also looks very different. I cannot stick to a content creating schedule because what's going to happen is I will create a schedule and then I will be disappointed in myself for not sticking to that schedule. So I just promised myself that I would spend at least 20 to 30 minutes a day on doing something in regards to content creating. Now, if I get any more time than that in a day, then I'm proud of myself. But the minimum is 20 to 30 minutes a day. I make time for my creativity juices to seep out of me, if that makes sense. Next thing I'm doing is consuming inspiring content. The moment I consume a piece of content that either makes me sad, aggravated, upset, less motivated, makes me feel less than, I'm literally blocking that piece of content or that person, period. Blocked. Like there's no other way around it. I'm running a strict program over here. Next thing I'm doing is I am slowing down. I literally had to force myself to start prioritizing rest. There was a point in time where I was pushing myself time and time again to do the things that I want to do, right? I was forcing myself. I literally would be staring at my phone or at my computer screen with burning eyes at midnight trying to get something done because I'm telling myself, like, you have to do this, you have to work, like, no matter how tired you are, you have to get this done. I'm no longer doing that. When I am tired, I am taking a break. I'm closing the laptop, I'm turning the phone off, I am laying down. My eyes no longer deserve to burn. Now, do I think that, yes, if you really want something to happen, yes, you have to put the work in, but you are no good to anybody, yourself, the people around you, your work. None of it is good if you're tired. Okay. And I noticed that. Like, I would stay up late creating content or editing content, and I would realize that my content just doesn't hit the same when I'm not rested. Rest your body. So listen, I'm not saying that I have everything figured out, okay? I'm still very much in the middle of all of this. And I honestly think it's something that I'm going to be working at for quite some time. I think it's really important that we understand that not every season is supposed to look the same. But I do think that every version of ourselves deserves our attention. And right now, I am choosing to come back to me, and you should be doing the same. Listen, if you are a girly who is just trying to figure it out, if you're on your personal development journey, your feminine journey, or just trying to grow into the best self that you can possibly be, click that subscribe button and stick around because we are definitely in this together. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I truly do appreciate you guys. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And until next time, switches. You know you